This is my third update about my cancer journey. I wanted to provide a little bit of a more comprehensive timeline because I think it was a little bit vague. So just very quickly to recap on the timeline. I had my first symptoms around mid-October when I found early mid-October I found a lump in my left armpit, and my left breast started to swell and the skin started to thicken with that orange peel kind of consistency, and my left arm started to swell as well. I went to my GP on the 11th of November. I thought it was mastitis. He said he believed it was cancer and referred me as a matter of urgency to the breast clinic in Hull. I had my first appointment there on the 30th of November, where they gave me a mammogram, a biopsy and an ultrasound. The consultant told me at the time that he hadn't found what he was expecting, so he wanted me to go for a PET scan and an MRI. No, he wanted me to go for an MRI, which I had about a week later. I then went back to the breast clinic on the 22nd of December, where I was told it was confirmed that I had breast cancer. I had inflammatory breast cancer, as they had it at the time, as they said at the time. They sent me for an emergency PET CT scan on the 24th, which I had, and then I had to wait for the results of that until the 10th of January, which I've had. During that period between the PET CT scan and the consultation on the 10th, I started to get an incredible amount of pain in my left leg, in my hip, running down my thigh and to my knee, to the point where they put me on cocodamol and liquid morphine to manage the pain, which I do now, but it has become, I'm now walking on crutches because I can't put any weight on that leg at all. When I went to the consultation on the 10th of January, I was told that the cancer had metastasized all over my body, but that they were unsure now as to the type of cancer, because the pattern of metastases was unusual, and they were the breast care consultant that I saw said that there was no surgery that he was able to perform, so that they were looking at giving me chemotherapy, but that they had to try and ascertain what kind of cancer I've got, because there's quite a lot of question as to what kind of cancer I've got. So they sent, but he was also very, very concerned about my leg. He told me that the cancer has metastasized into my bones, and that he was very concerned that my leg bone was being undermined by the cancer, and that it was if it hadn't broken, it was in danger of breaking, because of the strength of the bones being undermined, and has caused it to become crumbly and weak. So they sent me for an emergency X-ray at the time of the consultation on the 10th, post-consultation. He also said that he wanted me to have an emergency CT scan, and that they were also going to assess my biopsy material to try and ascertain just what form of cancer I've got, because it's not presenting in a usual format. So there is some question now as to whether the source is, well, this is what I can understand. This is what he said, is that there is some question now as to the source of the initial cancer. So it could be that this isn't breast cancer that's metastasized, that it could be metastasized from somewhere else. So at the moment I am getting around on crutches, keeping the weight off my leg as much as possible so as not to damage it. It's incredibly painful, but I am managing it. I'm trying to keep moving without putting any pressure on that bone so that it doesn't shatter. But also, you know, I don't want to lose the use of my leg completely. So I'm using crutches. So I am managing to manage the pain. But he also said that there was quite a lot of disease in other areas of my body, including my stomach and my pancreas. So on the 14th of January, I went to have a CT scan where they injected me with a dye, and they've taken a CT scan of my whole torso from my neck to my crotch. They will be assessing all of the information that they've gathered, all the test results, on the 21st of January, which is this coming Friday. And they will then try and assess what cancer that I've actually got, so that they can bespoke the chemotherapy treatment and hopefully get me started on that. And to tell you the truth, I'm really quite desperate to start the cancer chemotherapy treatment. They've given me access to psychological services for emotional support, which is really nice. And the Macmillan nurses will be ringing me on Wednesday to discuss how I'm doing, and you know, and the process so far, which has only taken 10 weeks. 10 weeks. 10 weeks since I got my first symptom and thought it was mastitis. It's 10 weeks. It blows my mind. It blows my mind that it's been so little time. But I'm getting a lot of support, and I am trying to stay as positive as possible. I do believe that this is, if not curable, at least manageable. So I am looking at ways that I can be proactive in managing my condition, eating things that will help to fortify my system, and things that are anti-carcinogenic, anti-inflammatory. So I'm doing a lot of nutritional research to try and help. I'm also going to be looking into complementary treatments that I believe will help. Things like vitamin D and medical cannabis, which I know have been found to be extremely useful in these situations, shall we say. So I'm making, some days are worse than others, but I'm making the most of the days as I find them, and I'm doing everything that I can to pick myself up, and you know, I really do believe that I can, you know, at least regain some of my health, and see how it goes. So yeah, so it's all been very hectic and really quite, you know, stressful, but it's also, you know, the sun was shining today, and I have a great deal of things to look forward to, and I am, you know, I am still able to do certain things, not a great deal, can't get around an awful lot, but you know, things are starting to move, so hopefully I'll be able to get some treatment soon, and the ball will get rolling. So hopefully I won't have to have too many more tests before they can decide what treatment they can give me. So fingers crossed. And yeah, so next update will be the results of my latest tests, so and what the oncologists say when they review all of my test results. So okay.